There are things you should know. Tell me when you're ready to hear them.
This is Station Korriban's flame to unidentified vessel. You have violated Imperial space. Submit your security clearance or be destroyed.
You said I could leave this to you. Go ahead.
Transmitting clearance code now.
Stand by while I... We're so pleased you're here, Grand Moff. You'll find our security airtight.
That is unlikely.
I've cleared a docking bay for you. Please proceed with your landing, sir.
For the moment, they believe I am Grand Moff Fresh. But this ruse will not hold. Prepare to kill everyone.
We'll infiltrate the station quietly. By the time the Imperials realize they've been lied to, we'll have what we need.
The docking bay will be swarming with honor guards for the Grand Moff. When you emerge from the ship instead, you'll find them disappointed. Don't waste any time. Destroy the enemy while we have the elements of surprise.
Right on time. You're practically a droid. I knew if I applied the right stimulus, you couldn't resist coming here.
Something's wrong with Leha. She's not herself. She tricked me.
Jomar was chasing proof you'd fallen to the dark side. He fell into my trap like a greedy child. You were just as easy.
The Emperor is dominating your mind. Resist him.
Please, don't hurt her. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Poor boy. You think you love me, but what we shared in secret on Tython was only a shadow of true passion.
They indulged their base desires. Impressive.
I'll show you true ecstasy, Jomar. But first things first.
I don't want to hurt you. If you care about Jomar, surrender.
Surrender is for the weak. Jomar had that option. You don't. You remember the meaties? I gave my little droid friends a few upgrades I think you'll enjoy. Briefly.
The power of the Sith.
Stop! 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 Where are we?
Leha, it's me. You're going to be all right.
My poor droids. How did we get here?
You've been under the Emperor's control. You tortured Jomar and tried to kill me.
No. That's not possible. No. I can feel the Emperor's presence. He hates you. The things he made me do.
Come home to Tython. Master Satil will help you. I have no right to ask you for anything, but the Council doesn't need to know about us. Please, keep our relationship to yourself.
It's not my job to expose your indiscretion.
Thank you. I'm sorry for all of this. I was wrong about you. My mission wasn't a total failure. I overheard Leha delivering orders from the Emperor to a high-ranking Sith Lord. I couldn't hear details, but I know someone named Lord Fulminus went on a secret mission to the planet Voss.
Lord Fulminus. The Emperor isn't taking any chances with Voss.
I'll take Leha home. Thank you for saving her. Us.
We should leave this place while we still can. Jomar's ship is in the aft hangar.
Better leave before the Empire sends reinforcements here. We'll be all right.
Master Satil, I rescued Jomar and found Leha Nerez. She's been under the Emperor's control and needs your help. They're headed for Tython now. I also learned a high-ranking Sith named Fulminus is on the planet Voss.
That is disturbing news. Voss was discovered only recently. Its society is dangerously unbalanced. The people worship an elite group of Force users who rule with absolute authority. Despite our best efforts, Voss's government rejects the Jedi Code.
The Emperor has always taken a great interest in that world. I thought he sought to conquer it, but clearly he intends its destruction.
Go to Voss. Find Lord Fulminus and stop his plans.
Master Jedi, I'm aware that my recent military record might raise some concerns. I want to reassure you that my squad fatality rates have not consistently been this high.
I suppose that's good to hear.
The first squad I commanded after making Sergeant was sent to free POWs being held at a small Imperial outpost. Intel said the place would be lightly manned. Most of the Imperials wouldn't arrive for another 24 hours. Intel was wrong.
The outpost wasn't lightly manned, or the POWs weren't being held there?
The Imperials sent their reinforcements a day early. When my squad broke into the outpost, we were outnumbered 10-1. We were outmanned and outgunned, but we achieved our objective, freed all the POWs, and came out alive. My squad's casualty rate was 97.4%, but we had no fatalities.
It's impressive that anyone made it out of there with those odds.
They were good soldiers, far better than any of the others I've had under my command. Our mission was accomplished without permanent loss of Republic resources. That squad was effectively trained, and as a result, we achieved victory much more efficiently.
They must have been remarkable soldiers.
They are. Good soldiers are a resource. Yes, their loss damages the war effort, but they are meant to be used. Victory for the Republic is worth any cost.
Your people speaking of the Empire sound like a distorted echo. When I was born, we thought the rest of the galaxy to be mystery and legend. We had been alone for 1,000 years.
What was it like? I can't even imagine.
We were what you made us. In my youth, Jedi were how you threatened errant children. Obey your masters or the Jedi will obliterate you. For thousands of years, we had total control of 100 star systems. Then the Jedi drove us to the farthest fringe of the galaxy.
The Emperor had subjugated thousands of species. Every non-Force user was enslaved.
They were safe and served to their own capability. This is hardly worth debating. I gain nothing from understanding how your Republic's fools view the galaxy. I am surprised that once your council finishes its brainwashing, any Jedi has a spine left to oppose the Emperor. Perhaps you are young enough to still cultivate the strength of the Sith.
If you came here to turn me to the dark side, you'll be disappointed.
I came to defeat the Emperor. Turning you to the dark side is purely for my own amusement.
Life of a combat medic. Long hours, grueling work. Patients bleeding all over your nice clothes. I'm not complaining. Nothing beats the look of gratitude from someone whose life you just saved. But my female patients are always developing feelings for me. Some just won't take no for an answer.
You're a hard man to resist.
Can't help being born handsome with charisma to spare. We all have our curses. I figure Jedi have the same problem. You must have admirers lined up from one end of the galaxy to the other.
Only one of them actually matters to me.
Sounds like a lucky guy. Introduce me sometime. Just imagine how popular we'll be after we knock the Sith Empire into a black hole. If I were you, I'd get some extra sleep now.
So, when do I get my own Padawan? Always wanted to be a teacher.
When Master Satele thinks you're ready for the responsibility, she'll tell you.
Bet a good word from you would speed that along. Here, pretend you're my Padawan. Got a hypothetical moral dilemma for you. Say you could only save the Republic or the Jedi Order. Which would you choose and why? Don't think, answer.
That's too big a question not to put a little thought into.
Bzz, too late. The Jedi Order and the Republic are both dead. Happy? Correct answer was Jedi Order, by the way. Without us around to protect it, the Republic can't survive.
Without a Republic to defend, would we still be Jedi? Or would we become something else?
Interesting point, Padawan. I'll answer your question later. This teaching thing's fun. Have to do it again sometime.
You'll be pleased to know I remain the most advanced steward droid in the galaxy. If that ever changes, I shall recommend a replacement.
What have you got for me? Only a few dozen senators have access to those accounts. One of them must be an Imperial spy. Until we find out who hired the bounty hunter and why, we can't be sure of anything. This casts a bad light on the entire Senate. Until we know who's responsible, I don't want this to leak out.
Master Jedi, our downtime has had a positive impact on my battle readiness. I believe I'm 14.2% more prepared for combat now.
What? What does that even mean?
It's a statistical analysis of, well, I won't bore you with the details. I've had a lot of time to think. I've forgotten what that was like.
Relax while you can, Sergeant. There's more fighting ahead.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been thinking about my original squad. I haven't seen any of them since we liberated that POW camp. They seem to be on active duty, but I can't find any mention of commendations or recognition. They should be decorated soldiers.
I'm sure you'll find something.
Carson, Naja, Eckerd, that whole squad has simply vanished.
They're probably just posted somewhere far from the fighting.
It seems like a terrible waste of skilled personnel. They'd be most valuable to the Republic deployed on the front. This just doesn't make sense to me.
You can get along without me for a bit, right? Need to pop over to Alderaan. Old friend of mine there got kidnapped by gangsters. They'll kill her if I don't deliver the spice they paid me for.
You realize selling spice is against the law? What's to stop me from turning you in?
They only paid me for spice. Never planned to actually deliver any. A couple of years back, I scammed this gang for a bulk load of credits. Spent everything to set up a refugee hospital on Alderaan. My friend is the head doctor there. I guess the gangsters finally figured out where all the money went.
They're holding your friend hostage until you give them the credits, or the spice.
I'm going undercover for Republic Customs. Once I deliver the spice and free my friend, the good guys swoop in. Gangsters go to prison and my friend gets your hospital back. Whole plan's foolproof. Won't take any time at all.
This sounds too dangerous for you to handle alone. I should come.
Oh, it's sweet, gorgeous. But there are some things a man just has to do for himself. Those gangsters were smarter than I thought, but the Republic hostage negotiators talked him out of killing me. They were really something.
I assume the woman you went to save also survived?
Old Doc never lets down a lady in distress. My friend got away clean. We never got a chance to catch up, but, hey, that's her on the holo. Probably wants to say thanks. Hey, pretend you work for me, alright? You look terrific, Prudy. Have you lost weight? Love the new hairstyle.
2 years without so much as a holo, and that's all you can say. You abandoned me at our wedding.
You never told me you had a wife.
We're not married. We were barely even engaged.
I thought you loved me. You said all those wonderful things on Ord Mantell.
Prudy, sweetheart. Those were sweet nothings. You should never take those at face value.
My parents flew all the way from Coruscant for a wedding that never happened. You loathsome cad. I wish I'd never met you.
You're a little high-strung for Doc. I don't blame him for running.
I didn't run. I got sidetracked.
Ugh. How do you live with yourself?
Look on the bright side, Prudy. You still have that hospital I bought you.
The gangsters burned it to the ground.
She still loves me.
I do not know how more to prepare you to face the Emperor. What has your training been? All I know of Jedi ways is from Revan. Surely they have changed in 300 years.
How does someone become the Emperor's Wrath?
There has only ever been one. My training as a Sith was not far different than Korriban today. Only my visions set me apart, made them bring me before the Emperor. In his presence, I first saw who he was and what he planned.
You still chose to serve him?
I chose to live, long enough to find one who could defeat him. I thought Revan and the Jedi exile were my chance.
Revan and the Jedi Exile are legends. What were they like?
It should not have surprised anyone that Revan turned Sith. He knew you cannot fight the dark side without understanding it. The exile was harder to read. Even with all she had done, she never trusted herself. With Revan, she was his student again. I liked them. I would have served them, but my vision told me they would fail. I cut down the exile and brought Revan to the Emperor as a gift.
You regret betraying them. There is room in the Force to forgive, even such heinous crimes.
I do not seek forgiveness. The only way to live long enough to find the Jedi who would kill the Emperor, to find you, was to convince him to trust me. He took my offering and gave me a place at his side. He gave me immortality. It was a gift, but not without its price.
Finally tracked down my old squad mates, Master Jedi. Wishing I hadn't. General Garza recruited them into the Special Forces Black Ops program. But now, they're in a detention facility on Birun, convicted of war crimes.
War crimes are a serious charge. How did your old squad go from being heroes to convicted criminals?
Black Ops doesn't make heroes. It trains killers. If the right targets die, no one complains. They renamed my old squad the Surgeons, tasked them with destabilizing the Empire's command structure by removing its best leaders. But the Surgeons didn't just target Imperial commanders. They went after the officers' families. They wanted to send the enemy a message.
Killing women and children is never acceptable.
Good soldiers know what acceptable targets are. This wouldn't have happened on my watch. The detention center's warden says my old squad mates are serving life sentences. They're young. That's a lot of years to spend in cages. The next time I get nostalgic and curious, Master Jedi, give me a planet to invade.
Those gangsters on Alderaan brought back some great memories. Oh, they used to call me Doc Operator back in the day. I was the go-to guy for everything medical. Trauma kits, surgical droids, hospitals, you name it, and I could get it. One time, This hut was hoarding med packs after a massive groundquake, selling them at an obscene markup. I tricked Mandalorians into attacking his palace.
Pitting Mandalorians against a hut? You enjoy living dangerously, Doc.
That's why you can't resist me. I forged a death mark signed by the hut against the Mandalorian clan. They, accidentally found it with a little help from yours truly. The Mandalorians attacked the hut palace in record time. By sheer coincidence, I was there to sweep in and clear out the hut's medpacks.
You could have been killed doing that alone. Promise you'll take me along if you ever do anything that crazy again.
Done. I won't need the Mandalorians. Thanks to an anonymous donor, every hospital in the disaster zone received supplies to treat their patients. Saved thousands of lives. That was small time compared to what we're doing. When we save the galaxy, I'm not staying anonymous. This ship is way too quiet. No offense to the others, but you're the only decent conversationalist here. Of course, talking's the least of your skills.
I'm naturally gifted in many ways.
I've only found two. You're holding out on me, beautiful. We don't get much downtime. Be a shame not to take advantage of it.
Excellent point.
We're getting good at this. But you know what they say about practice making perfect?
We deserve a vacation.
And I know just how to spend it. This was... I'm positive I heard your holocom beeping on the bridge. Might be important. I need to, clean the med bay. It's filthy. I'll see you later.
Can't believe this. Standards at the Republic Health Administration must be non-existent. I went to medical school with a new acting head.
Guy is a moron. Doesn't know a vibroscalpel from a field cauterizer. Barely passed his final exams. How is he the top doctor in the Republic?
It's been a while since you were in school together. His skills must have improved.
The only thing that improved was his bank account. Now he's gonna be in all the medical journals. This is what always happens. Real doctors go out and save lives. Idiots stay on Coruscant and get themselves promoted. So what if this guy invented a vaccine for Zabrak scalp necrosis? I could have done it. I'm just busy.
You're saving the whole galaxy. And keeping me alive, too.
Sure, but nobody knows it. I'm languishing in heroic obscurity. Tell you this much. Enough's enough. No more Mr. Nice Doc. The galaxy's gonna find out what a real physician looks like. I gotta find a disease to cure. Something really unpleasant.
Every time I see you return from a mission, I thank the Maker I wasn't designed for combat.
Old Doc's always been more of a lover than a fighter. But I had to up my game since you came around. It's not easy looking good when you're fighting next to a Jedi. But I figured out the trick.
You're dashing even when you're only standing around.
That comes naturally. I'm talking about skill, gorgeous. Yep. Next time we're surrounded by the scum of the galaxy, they're gonna be sorry they met me. Every time I think I've seen it all, the galaxy shows me something new and crazy. The latest Journal of Xenomedicine reports that Wookiees live for centuries and mate for life. How can they do that? It's unnatural.
So you lack the endurance to stay with a woman more than a few weeks?
If she was a really good kisser, I could be with the right woman for months. Catching up on the latest medical data always makes me hungry, and I hate eating alone. What do you say, beautiful? Grab a bite?
I had something else in mind, but if you aren't feeling up to it...
Snack time can wait. I swear, every time we're together, it's different. You're not using Jedi mind tricks on me, are you?
Would you be excited if I said yes?
Sure. I mean, no. I don't know. Are you doing it right now? Don't answer that. I'm tired, that's all. Been a long year. Sergeant Rusk better have left me some energy pudding. Grazing soldier eats everything that isn't nailed down. I'll see you around.